And welcome on in, everybody. Behind the counter on this Monday, March 9th. Returning, founding Behind the Counter member, Dave Mann, on the set for this episode. Of course, you can see Dave on all his other shows throughout the network. What?
Said eating some delicious chips.
Who's on the cover of that? Anthony Davis?
The eyebrow himself.
Now, did he contribute to this flavor? Did he have input on it?
He is apparently the creator of the flavor. He's the one that said, I want lime and jalapeno.
Like, I wonder what goes into that. Like, when someone's put on a bag of chips, and they go, "No, what flavors would you like to put in there?" And we're like, say, "I like lime." Well, you know, we have a couple limes already.
I want to believe that that's what it is, but I bet it's. Mr. Davis, we'd like to give you $1 million. We're going to put your face on the bag. Here are 3 different flavors that we have ready to go. Which one would you like to be yours? Yeah. That's a little bit. That makes me a little mad because you see in the commercial, Anthony Davis is in the Ruffles kitchen. And he's like drawing on the chalkboard, like we're gonna kick the flavor out here, we're gonna go over there. Like,
I wonder I wonder how much input they really have in those. It's kind of like I kind of agree with you. I think they probably put like 3 to 5 flavors in front of them. They're like, well, here's what we have in development. Which one kind of fits you? Which one do you really like?
Or does his agent? I was gonna say, or does his agent just answer that question? Like, Anthony wants this one.
Anthony is a jalapeno and lime.
You know, they very well could do that. They just put them on a bag of chips. You know, they don't really care. I mean,
just throw them on a bag.
Put the eyebrows on the chips, okay?
Put them on anything. But yeah, those are. I think I had those when you had them earlier in the week. I had 1 or 2 of them.
Oh, they're so good.
They were okay.
They're not a Dan flavor, but Dan tried it in earnest.
I'm proud. Very proud.
Let me have one. I forget its flavor.
Oh! I can look into his eyes.
Interesting.
If he really likes it. Or not.
I really taste the lime. I don't know if it. I don't know if I
love it. I can tell.
No, it's okay. I don't know if I can eat a whole bag of them, or a bunch at one time. But it's a decent flavor. But
I don't always like the lime, but one year I just tried.
I like lime in my soda. That's about it. Like a good lemon or a good lime in my Diet Coke. That's about
it. We don't talk about that.
We've gone into our safety measures here at the store, as everybody. You know, we are masters at the Windex here at the store.
Masters of the Lysol now.
Now we've converted.
Windex right in the bag.
We've now put the Windex. I mean, look, you know how many? Can you probably guess how many bottles of Windex we've gone through at this store in the how many years?
In the year, or like since
years.
we got to this space, or in like our 10 years respectively?
A lot. We probably fill up a couple pools worth.
I was gonna say
we've gone through a ton of. So instead of kind of just spraying the counters with Windex, we've now converted to wiping them down with Lysol and, making sure we protect ourselves and other people who visit the store. But that's it. That's the only Corona talk we'll have on the podcast.
I do want it noted, by the way, that my educational organization I work for has stated that they have no cases of the coronavirus. So if I get it, it's from here.
Well, we do have a lot of people in and out here.
We get a lot of people in and out of the mall.
A ton of them in there.
I will blame
farmers market. Bringing in poison.
Obviously, the main topic of our discussions over the last couple weeks have been Overwatch. Not much Overwatch going on. I think everyone's kind of been on a
Of course, you have me on, and now we're not doing with
That's
Overwatch.
a very good point. Now, what is it because? Why are we not playing, Mike? Can you answer that question?
Dan used to try to ringleader everybody together, but now that his best friend has stopped playing, Johnny, he has no heart for it anymore. Dan used it as a way to spy on Johnny and earn favor with Johnny, but
I don't know what that even means.
And possibly overtake Butt as his best friend.
Again. You know what? I can see it. I can see Dan plotting, and he's be like, "Yes, and I'll get the boys to be on."
We'll play Overwatch for 3 weeks, and I'll find out what's going on.
And then we'll transition into Call of Duty. It will be great.
It's been, I don't know if I've enjoyed the break from Overwatch. Like, I kind of want to get back into it. I still want to play, but it's kind of like, I really want to go back into doing it. It's kind of like, once you get that break, it's kind of like, stay away once the fever goes away.
Once you play one game and you're like, I can play better than that.
It's true. It's true.
I almost fired it up last night, but
we almost
forgot his copy. What a shame.
Whoa!
You forgot you. Oh no, you had yours, didn't you?
Yeah, me and Tom did a little. So I still did. But Dan,
There's only one game that Mike ever forgets here, and it's Call of Duty.
I really want to play Call of Duty again.
Oh, do you?
I want to dip in and start playing Call of Duty. Or does Dave maybe have the Fortnite fever now, where we are going to play a little Fortnite?
You know what? I'll be outed right here. Because I'm watching Duty Calls during my shift, which, by the way, Thursdays from 5 p.m. till about 9, and then it hands it over to AC Weezy. You should definitely check that program out. He is awesome. OC5X at Twitch. Shout out to you, brother. His family sometimes comes into the store. It's really fun for me. So yeah, I got really curious about Fortnite. And guess what? I played for the first time in years, and I placed in the top 20 every time.
Hey, you didn't do bad. He said he had
Are the maps much different?
He had my full interest.
Is it completely different now?
I mean, from what I remember, although I remember there being ice everywhere and candy canes and fun, and now it's just... bleh.
See, I think that, it's one of those tough situations with Fortnite, because it's one of those, you're going to lose people if you don't keep the game fresh, but I kind of like, are you going to lose too many people when a game is just so blatant? Like, I want to go back to the old sound effects, now you go in there and it's just old, it's just all like,
although,
you're popping up tablets and you're doing different things, just like...
The game is still in beta. So after that old Boater and you shouting match years ago on this program, the game's still not out yet. We really can't say whether Fortnite is a success or not because it's still in beta.
You don't have any desire to get in and play or Fortnite at all?
I have always liked Fortnite. I was the best.
Classic, the shoveling pumpkin heads. Go back to those a little bit.
All you need to do is put out the sigil for old Mike.
My question is, would we get the dog? To be honest,
he's like off the grid. I don't know what's going on with him.
We could probably entice him.
He moved back to the desert. He's back in his natural habitat, and he's happy. And I'm happy for him. But
he's a dry guy, so he wants to be in a dry.
The big problem is he's off the time schedule, time zone. He's
only an hour though, right? Or
no, Arizona's 3 hours now, I believe.
Is it really?
Phoenix?
I don't think so. I'll close chat for a sec.
He's definitely on a different time zone. I'm not sure they fall under Central Time or Pacific.
It does give him an advantage when it comes to drafting in fantasy.
Why?
I never liked that.
Why?
Because it's midnight for him. It's 3 a.m. for us, if that's the case.
Is it really back to that?
It might be.
He did. That's right. He took advantage of that a couple of years ago, didn't he?
I mean, I'm up anyway at that time, ready to go.
That's kind of ridiculous. You're up at 3 in the morning. A little absurd.
Yep.
If I'm not, then
he is now on Mountain Standard Time.
Which is how long? 2 hours?
Or 3.
Let's see.
Might actually work out better. Because he goes to bed super early.
Mike already plotting for his fourth...
You know what's a good sign? Speaking of some stuff that's going on here, not to get too much off subject, we did a huge computer repair over the weekend. And I normally sit here and I look at the buy rate and it's always going red on the thing. And right now it's a straight green line. It's just going straight. I gotta imagine that means it's good.
Fantastic work, Tom, as usual.
It's just literally a flat rate and just going... What you
Whoa!
Once, no, just
Program's canceled!
normally does some good work.
What did you say out there?
The germ, by the way, is 2 hours behind us.
So that's not as bad, but still.
It's a big difference. When it's 10 o'clock at night for us, it's 8 o'clock for him. When we want to get off playing Xbox, he's looking to get on.
Not necessarily. He probably wants to get on at 8.
What's the common time that we stop playing Xbox? Any game that we're playing, it's 11 o'clock.
11 p.m.
So he's getting on at 9, which is when we normally get on, it's at 9. So the hours are completely whacked.
Dan yawns, and then is out about.
Actually, Tom is the one that really crushes it.
Sometimes me as well.
I normally get off whenever the first one gets off.
Yeah, you bail. The second someone leaves, you're immediately like already got your coat on. You're like, you can stay, by the way. No. No, people are leaving.
Drives Johnny freaking bonkers when he does that.
That's...
You can still play with us, Dan. You don't have to just leave right away.
What can I say?
I gotta go.
So I don't know. Well, now that we're on this Overwatch break, I don't know. Should we play a little Fortnite, dabble in a little Call of Duty? The new Warzone maps or the new Warzone games coming out.
When that comes out, I'll definitely give it a look.
I think it's coming out tomorrow, isn't it?
Is that confirmed?
I heard it was either like today or tomorrow.
All I hear is fake news regarding it. So,
Well, Mike, what news did you find about
that
it?
might have been fake too. I guess it was a leak. They said it's going to be free to play even if you don't have a copy of Modern Warfare. Fully
It says Call of Duty's
cross-platform.
free to play cross-platform battle royale launches March 10th, so tomorrow.
That's going to be super good numbers for them.
Launches March 12th. Launches March 12th or March 10th. I'm sorry, March 10th. So that looks like March 10th. So that's tomorrow.
We'll have
So
to give it a good.
that means I'm gonna have to give it a big update before 2v Tuesday. So I'm sure they'll be playing
a good
that.
old try.
The classic Dan Screwjob where Call of Duty releases an update at 2:30 and we have 2 hours before we go live.
It is possible that it's later on.
Funny that Dan should mention screw jobs.
What?
It's funny. It's just, Mike and I have been dealing with a classic Dan screw job recently.
I can't wait to hear this one.
Mike has been holding on to this one for like 4 hours.
I can't wait to hear this one.
It's apparently Dan just loves to give people the wrong products.
For what?
For what? Many things.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you gave somebody a disc that's supposed to be shining gold. You gave them a dirt red disc. I know what the disc looks like without even having to see it. That's how valuable that game is.
Okay.
You only
There's
did it
no
once.
Wind Waker that's not a different
You
color?
did it twice. No, it's gold.
Oh, every single one's gold.
Yep.
Shining
Actually.
gold.
Okay. Continue.
And that wasn't the only thing. Before you came in on Saturday, was it?
Yeah.
There was a copy of Monopoly for the Wii that sold. That also had your name on the initial.
What about it? And what happened with it?
Oh my
I had to convince him to buy the other one
I put
with the wrong case. I was just like, well,
Was it a different Monopoly?
yep. There was a Monopoly Streets and a Monopoly Collection, and luckily Monopoly Collection included Monopoly Streets. So you gave one person just Streets, and I was just like, well, I'll give you this one that has Streets plus another Monopoly for the same price. They're like, oh yeah, wicked cool. That's besides the point. You need to check the discs before you give them to people, Dan. Especially as our leader,
Are you
our
accusing-
mentor, someone to look up to.
I
Are you
thought
saying
I
that's not
heard.
important?
I didn't say that, but I heard earlier that you were accusing me of purposely putting the wrong CD into the second person's case.
I mean, here's the two options, Dan.
No, here are the options.
It's either you did it on purpose or you're stupid. So I was like, he's not stupid, so...
First off, let me address problem number one. We do or do not know that the first one went out wrong. That person has
I
not
guess
come
it's not
back.
confirmed, but I mean...
First off, let's not forget who started this whole thing. I come
the
in
map
today.
of guilt.
I come in, and I don't know if it's one of those. I don't know if it's one of those when Dave has that opportunity to go, Dan did something wrong. I'm gonna put this whole map together, and I come into look. There's arrows on this. He went and took the time to draw arrows and a little smiley face on top.
First of all, I put a disclaimer of I assumed that this was the situation.
Look at all those arrows on
But
there. Stapled,
It's complex
highlighted.
crime.
Customer 1 was sold a copy of Wind Waker on Friday by someone else. Then, a couple of days later, on Saturday, I sold a copy of Master Quest to a different customer. So I wanted to put different arrows so that we understood that there were two different timelines and two different folks going on. So we didn't have a pronouns pal problem where it's like, they got the wrong disc. Well, who's they? So we've got customer A, who was serviced by one person, and customer B, who was then actually partially serviced by the same person who serviced customer A, who got the
came
wrong
in.
disc.
So let me read you. I assume on the top, this customer got this receipt. And he goes, don't know why this person hasn't noticed I got the incorrect game. Well, maybe...
They bought like 8 games. They're probably like, I'll save that one for last. And they buy it.
And then on this one, Dave goes, this customer got Master Quest Ocarina of Time. And then he goes, this customer is going to bring it back and receive and blah, blah, blah. So... I came into
Customer A got the wrong game and seemingly is wildly unaware of it. Customer B bought a GameCube and one game and wants to play that one game and will be back and will get a copy of that game. They will.
First off,
just to waylay anyone's
let's try to make
concerns.
some lemonade out of lemons here, okay, or whatever the saying goes. The fact is, if you're buying, now yes, obviously there's a screw up here somewhere.
Don't
but
justify
let's
this,
assume, because again we don't know. This guy, maybe we had 2 wrong discs in there, or we had 2 of these, and only, we don't know, because this one has not brought it back yet. Okay? Let's say he did, in fact, get the wrong one. Are you not going to take the time to play the other Zelda that you get? So he bought Wind Waker and ended up getting, let's say he bought Wind Waker and ended up getting Ocarina of Time and Master Quest. He's not going to stop and play those? He's going to play them. And he's going to, just like this guy, he's definitely going to play the other one he got.
Definitely not.
He's not. How can you play one Zelda and not play the other Zelda?
Because they wanted to play
different.
just Master Quest and Ocarina of Time.
See, I find that very hard to believe that a Zelda
They're
guy, if a
completely
guy comes in and is
different
going to
games.
drop
They are.
$50 on Zelda, he's definitely going to play that Zelda.
He might be interested in it, but he probably has another version.
I'll get it that he maybe bought it for Wind Waker, or Ocarina of Time. But let's not stop and think that he ain't going to pop that one in and play that one either.
He wanted to get a specific Nintendo 64 with Ocarina of Time, but we were all out of it for the 64. So the only game he wants to play, Dan, is Ocarina of Time.
And we don't know for sure what really happened in this situation.
We know.
There is very supported assumptions with store
So
records.
assume is the magic word in this whole thing.
And
It
again,
is the magic word.
I am entirely willing to that could be that I assumed wrong, that we did in fact get 2 copies of Wind Waker and someone had put it in the Master Quest case, because maybe we also just need to better check trade-ins then. That's the case.
This problem could go deeper and deeper and deeper.
No. It's
Just
definitely
saying.
Dan's fault.
I'm just saying.
Dan has a long checkered past with giving people the wrong disc.
And
That's
so
a little
He was
absurd.
probably on the phone with
Folks in
a
chat,
colleague. I won't mention her name, but she was keeping him extremely distracted in the moment of the sale.
folks in chat, you be the one to decide as to whether or not, when I was ringing the customer out and brought the copy of Master Quest and Ocarina of Time up, who should take the case and nicely offer to retrieve the disc for me so I could finish the sale, but the guilty party themselves. And so, did Dan
This is what
put
I give for
the
trying to
wrong
be
disc
nice and
intentionally,
helping out with the sale.
or did Dan quickly
If we really want to get
shuffle
to the
through?
bottom of this, I'll just simply pull out those sleeves and try to find any of the Zelda ones.
I'm pretty sure I saw it, but
Because if I end up seeing the reverse ones, then we know there's a problem.
I saw actually a sleeve that said
Oh, you
Ocarina of
did.
Time in there, and the sleeve was still out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did.
I did.
Where is it?
Why don't you go look in there? We had a lot of trade-ins lately. It probably got re-tagged.
All I know is, when I went to pull out the one that Dave gave me, it said Legend of Zelda.
You probably
I
saw
pop it
Dave
open. I
working
saw
up the sale.
one Legend of Zelda there, and I go, well, that has to be it because I got the case in my hand.
You probably saw Dave working up the sale. He had the case, and you're like, he's gonna notice it's the wrong disc. I have to come in now so I get the sale. Dan comes flying out of the back.
Well, give me the bag. I'll get it. Don't worry.
I was
Oh, it's in there, Dave.
I was out here already. Okay, I was merely behind the counter, as were a lot of us at that time. And I merely said to Dave, I'll get that for you.
And I appreciated that, Dan. I really do.
That may have been what you said, but it's not what you were thinking, though.
Let's also not forget the fact that to pivot a little bit, Tom was doing some fantastic electrical work on the computer here, but the second parts hit this countertop, all of a sudden, people we have never ever seen in this store before were coming in. Do you sell PC stuff? Like they were crawling around on the floor. They were going,
Like, what you doing over there, friend?
what do you have there? Did you get a new egg?
It is very crazy how many people come in and when you're doing random things like, oh, wow, what's going on here? Oh, you selling computer parts? Oh, I'm looking for this. Nope, not selling them. You know, we're not
That's why they're back here.
we're not giving them out. We're not selling them. However, some of the parts that we may sell, some from the old computer. Either way, we got a whole brand new case. Corey, if you want, do we need to critique Tom's work for a second here?
What do you have to say?
Well, okay, what's cool?
Timely?
It's a dangerous.
Spectacular work.
So we ended up buying a motherboard.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm saying all these right. A motherboard and a processor. So 2 things need to go in.
Well,
do you care to explain what happened when it all came?
Tom had the master plan. He pitched it to Dan. He's like, "Oh, we only need these parts, Dan." And then the classic repair things.
The only thing I said is I want no problems. That's all I said. I go, Tom, I want no problems. And he goes, up, Dan. You tell me I don't know how to be. No, my building. I know what I'm doing. And then we just went like that.
It does not help, by the way, that knowing Dan and how easy he is to get a rise out of, that every time he would leave the area and come back, one of us would loudly go, oops. Or
big time disaster.
Big time disaster. Or
the
don't
first
worry
big
about
time
it.
disaster was?
That the parts he bought were too big to even fit into the case at all.
So what was a simple extraction and re-put in ended up being a complete remodel.
It
needed a whole new body.
It needed a remodel. We were dropping left, right, and center during streams. We were having 2 cameras, then we weren't having 2 cameras. Tom's work. Mwah.
What's that percentage at over there?
6.4.
6.4.
High.
You know what it would have been last week? It would have been at like 70 because we're not using the capture card. If we had the capture card on, it'd be like 88, 95% computer usage. That baby is rocking us. This bitrate bar has not even swiveled at all. It's running straight in green. I gotta imagine green is good. Before it was red going.
Just whenever I have bad news to tell Dan from now on, I'm just going to write it in green marker.
Dear Dan, lost the register.
Now would it be even more funny if Dave wrote this in red letters?
Underlining the initials of who.
I want to note that because I wanted it to be legible and the situation to be resolved, I typed it because I knew that if I wrote it, it would be like an Always Sunny situation where the both of you are looking, going, "Fucking Dave."
Dave would probably say, "Yes, what we got here?" And he's going. Yes.
I mean, when I did see that it wasn't me that sold the last copy of Wind Waker that was in, I was pretty pleased to text Mike about it.
Dave probably went from, "Oh, is it me? Is it me? Ah, yes.
Ah, yes, it's Dan.
It's not me." We all have those moments where we go, "Oh, phew, it's not my initials on there."
It seemed to happen to someone here more than others.
Really?
The head honcho.
I mean,
I got bigger things to worry about.
I mean, let's be honest. Mike and I get called on the carpet, as we should. But sometimes there's a little Dan action on the side here where it's like, what was that over there? Don't worry about it.
Do as I say, not as I do, boys.
I cannot confirm nor deny, I guess, that anything happened there because I don't really know I'm not quite sure what happened.
I just wanted to make sure that the team was aware, so when that customer comes back with Wind Waker, everyone's not going, bah, 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 bah.
What's super clear is that it's your fault. What we're trying to decide right now is whether or not it was on purpose or not. Whether or not you was a true motive or you did it on purpose.
Chat, was it ignorance or guilt that he did it? Let us know.
That, I don't know.
Oh, boy. Whatever.
It feels so good to be back on behind the counter.
I will launch an investigation if need be and find out exactly what happened. That could be an even bigger problem.
Oh, yeah?
Well, for all we know, I just got trapped in the fact that 2 games got traded in wrong.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, there very well could have been a Wind Waker case with a whatever the Ocarina of Time CD in it. We don't know.
Who's taking a lot of trades lately, Mike? Is it you?
Not me.
Is it me? Is it Tom?
First off,
No.
both these Zeldas got traded in a long time ago. So I don't think they're under. They've been over there for quite some time.
A long time ago.
I mean, I can very easily pull up the trade receipts and find out.
You wouldn't be able to
Ooh.
talk about
Do you guys want to put the pressure on that?
You know what? For next week,
well.
answer that question.
You're just
Who took him
putting
in?
in the direction the wrong way. Once this guy comes in and acknowledges his disc, it'll all be
And if it
over.
comes in that those got traded on my watch, then it's all around me, apparently. If they
Well,
got
what
traded
if
under
that's
my
the
watch
case?
and they got apparently sold under my
Will
watch.
you apologize?
What?
Well, I said, will you publicly apologize if that's the case?
No.
No.
We'll have to see.
Deny.
I'm gonna purposely put in Dan's initials for one day when this comes up.
Also, how do we know Dan's not using our logins? Because he knows
He does
them.
have the authority.
I don't know your passwords.
I bet you could get them.
Actually, I don't think I can, really. I don't know how that works and the passwords on the program.
Probably just make another copy of the same initial.
Well, Dave.
Oh, well. Noah's hit the store pretty hard this week, and it's been hitting the store pretty hard over the last couple of weeks.
The corona.
Not that.
Stop saying that.
But the good old return of NASCAR here at the Insane Game
Has
store.
been hitting the store.
Now that we always have Fox Sports 1 on here, and
Well-
obviously they do a lot of NASCAR, so it's kind of gotten me going a little bit with the NASCAR as of late.
It makes me wonder, though, what happened, Dan? What brought you back to NASCAR? Because the second Jeff Gordon said, I retire, and as he finished the word, you turned off the TV. And we never saw it on TV again.
It was
Like,
very
Jeff's
bad.
on the announcement team, that's why.
No, race car go.
I got the ultimate high with NASCAR the last season that Jeff was racing, and then it was just a complete flop. He won with he won that Martinsville race that got him in for the championship race with 2 races to go. It was an extreme high moment where I was like, oh wow, he actually has a chance of winning. You look at all the people that have retired from NASCAR over the last 6 years. Jeff Gordon started a wave of retirements. After Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Casey
Dale.
Kane, Jimmy Johnson, the list, Jamie McMurray,
It's
the list
all
is
new
Greg
blood
Biffle. Like there are 10 mainstream drivers gone, and all started before Jeff. So
Mark Martin.
So one could say that Jeff is actually he plans out his career pretty well. Where I'd rather be the first one who retires, because Jeff had the ultimate goodbye season, and then it just became old after. Like even now, Jimmy, like people are getting so sick and tired of the goodbye tours.
Yeah.
But either way,
That's a good
none of
point,
them have
yeah.
gone out on top, and Jeff did go out on top in the championship race for the title. His last race, he could have won the title with his last race to go.
Well, what happened?
Well, he ended up losing.
Is that the one where he got crashed?
No, that was one before that called the ultimate screw job. Him
My favorite race of
getting
all
screwed
time.
over from that could have led to him retiring.
Probably my favorite
Just
race
saying.
of all time.
But I
Screw this, I'm retiring.
don't know. I've seen it. Maybe it's just because it's the beginning of the year, the classic Daytona 500. But it just kind of got going, and then of course we ended up going and getting NASCAR the Heat 4. I did a little stream on Friday with that. That was that
Which
felt
people
good.
want more of, by the
People
way, Dan.
do want
People
more
want
of it.
more
We'll have
Dan
to do
playing
some more.
NASCAR.
Some
That's
more
popular
NASCAR Heat. I almost popped in NASCAR 98. God, with a little gun.
Oh,
a little gun
my
in NASCAR
God.
98.
It seems like a dangerous.
Where if you're going into
addition.
turn 1, my neighbor and I, at one point we did a 500 lap race at Bristol, and we had the little gun where you're racing, you go, and the gun, if you hit the other car, it would pop the wheels up on the car, and the car goes straight into the wall, and you could pass them. And the gun was like a cartoonish, like a little bubble gun. You have to try it. It's actually pretty cool.
That's a little bit less.
That'll have to be some. I was picturing the same
It's a
thing
cheat
you were, like a
code.
bodega
James
drive-by.
Bond, yeah.
No, it's a cheat code. So
Tech 9 leans out of a window.
and you got to do it right. So, like, if you're going into turn 1, you got to kind of dive down and spray up, and you hope that the bubbles hit one of the cars, and the car's a wheel pop up, and it goes straight into the wall, and you can go by them. That's actually kind of pretty cool.
I've always heard that was one of your favorite games.
It's a classic. Probably SmackDown, WWF SmackDown on PlayStation is one of my
The
favorites.
SmackDown.
That first one ever coming out with a rock on the
I
cover.
think I played that once. With a nice blue disc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic game.
Silver and blue SmackDown logo on the disc.
But no, so it's kind of been a little bit of NASCAR going on around here lately, and I don't know, it's been kind of refreshing, enjoyable to watch. I was home watching the race last night.
Oh, you're all the way into it now.
I was watching the end of it, but it ended up being.
I mean,
Joey
he's got so much
Logano
time
got
now.
to win.
You're not
Joey
playing
Logano.
Overwatch. You've got time now to watch NASCAR.
It is true. I found myself a lot more time at night when I go home without playing Overwatch.
That is one of the main
It's still
reasons
quite
I quit
refreshing.
playing it.
What?
So that's one of the main reasons I quit playing it.
It's the grind.
Play
The
some
grind.
other stuff.
It's like you get home and you pop it in.
Love it. Love
grind.
that grind. So worth it.
You know,
It is good. It's fun, but
it was nice to get a little bit of a breather.
you're just not playing because your boy's not here anymore.
Yeah.
Don't try to play it off as a breather.
And you're not playing because he's not here anymore. Let's
Me
face
and Tom
it.
played last night.
Did you enjoy playing last night?
We did.
No, I don't think you did.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. Glorious, one would say. Probably because you weren't there.
Did you get heals? I can't remember. Do we?
Chances are.
Dave starting smack talk?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
If Dan's there, I didn't get healed.
I didn't get to do enough smack talk while we were in gaming because during the times where it would be counterproductive was the only time we would have been able to be like, yeah.
Well, is there anything on the Overwatch topic you would like to address? Now that you have the floor here.
I enjoy the tutelage of Johnny and Butt. I do enjoy that they impart very good wisdom, nice little nuggets of information. I enjoyed the crew having all of us online at once was good fun. Actually having one team, so that instead of waiting 45 minutes for one DPS, it was literally like 3 minutes per match, and we were against 6 people.
Yeah,
but the second we would lose one person, 45-minute wait time. Like, you can't find one rando to plug in.
It's quite enjoyable with 6 people. You're in and out with matchups.
It is nice with the whole team going. It's pretty cool. For sure.
I don't know if you know about this, but Fry Dave at DAM314 is actually growing with the regulars that we have. I've got a Kai, Dr. Wiley himself.
Dr. Wiley.
Amp Slayer is going to start joining. He actually got PlayStation Plus so that he could join us. Anti-Claus Prime might be hopping in. That's 5 people. It's 5 people, folks.
What are we doing on Friday of this week?
Oh, yeah, let's bring that up.
This week. No, I mean, I announced it yesterday because I was uber excited. So this week, for those of you who don't know, I work in education, and this week is a full moon, there was a time change, and there's a Friday the 13th, which means that it's going to be a lot of work. But I also figured I'm usually live on Fridays, sitting on my ass on my couch at home, and you guys are usually live here. We're going to have a Friday the 13th at the Insane Games Studio. We're going to play Friday the 13th. We're going to be passing the controller between the regular Friday crew and Mike and Dan, which I'm very excited to get to share the experience with you guys. Have you played that game before? The Friday the 13th game?
I don't know.
You watched me play it in here before.
It's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, CJ and I, when we first streamed it on the weekend Wednesday, like, we were both like, this is going to be bad.
What are we playing it on?
Mike's got it on Xbox. I have it on PlayStation.
Okay, if you had it on both, we probably could put 2 of them.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if Akai and Steve have it on their PlayStations, because then we can just put the PlayStations on and all play.
But yeah, it's a shame what happened with that game with all the licensing and stuff, because it was like 1 or 2 updates away from being really, really good like experience, and then they got hit with the cease and desist from I don't know the name of the people that are all in charge, but one of the owners was upset that he's being used, and they're trying to figure out who actually owns Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
right now.
when they paid the licensing fee to the actors and to so they originally paid the people that played Jason Voorhees, and they paid people that voice acted or acted in the previous movies, and they were just going to call it like Camp Slasher. And it was going to be Friday the 13th the game without the name Friday the 13th. Then someone reached out to them and said, by the way, you can use the Friday the 13th name if you pay us X amount. So they kickstarted it. They got the Friday the 13th name, so they were allowed to say Jason Voorhees. They paid for the movie rights for different skins based upon the films. And then one of the studios, after the game came out, took issue with it and said, we want more money. And it's a horror game. It's a niche. There's not that much money to be had in it, and so it got kind of swept out around to the side, and they're not allowed to do anything else with it.
For a while, though, it was getting heavy support and like updates and stuff, like new skins, DLC.
New skins, fixes, patches, like.
Well, now they can't do anything to it?
Nope.
No.
They gave it out for free on Xbox Live Gold one time.
And PlayStation, pretty much the same month. They
Like,
pretty
well,
much
if you're
said,
gonna
like...
be like that, we're just going to pump it out to everybody anyway. And I was like, okay.
I didn't hear
I'll play
all that.
So this Friday, check it out here on Insane Games TV and DAM 314, Friday the 13th.
We'll have to get some horror Dave face from in there.
And
I mean, it's not the same killer when you were doing the Michael Myers stuff.
And I believe there's a full moon this week as well.
Yes, there is. I just said that.
I didn't want to be mean to him again. Who? Dave literally said that.
Did he say it? Oh, I guess I didn't hear it. Or, I don't know. And it's light out now.
Here I am.
I'm not used to having... Maybe because I'm looking at the light. I'm not used to having light out here.
I start talking.
have to do
Dan
anything.
Yeah, I was looking at that for a
Dan
couple
suddenly
minutes.
looking up at the light going, wow, what cool stuff.
I didn't
And
say
then he
there
hears,
was a full moon today. It's just this week. Is it today?
it was pretty damn full last night, so...
It probably max out in the middle of the week, maybe tomorrow, Wednesday. Who knows? Yeah, that should be a fun stream.
Yep.
We'll do that live here Friday night.
I remember when it came out for free, I was like, does anyone want to play this with me? And everyone's like,
Yeah!
I was like, damn it. But
So-
now I get to play.
Last week I got all of the random guy came in and traded in all of the Marvel movies, Blu-rays, which we normally don't do. But seeing how I was looking to get them for myself, I was like, what are you looking for here, buddy? And I ended up giving him some cash for that. And so now I have pretty much, I think I'm missing the first Thor and like the second Spider-Man. And the Hulk. Who watches the Hulk anyway? No one really
Which
watches.
Hulk?
The first Hulk. The one that's
Edward
part of the
Norton
universe
Hulk.
that...
Wait,
no,
the Edward Norton one?
Yes.
So the second Hulk movie.
Well, the one that's part of the franchise. The first one's
The
not-
Edward Norton one's part of the franchise?
Yeah, it's a
Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's canon! That's
the-
so bad!
It's the second, technically the second Marvel Studios movie,
Yeah.
right behind Iron Man 1.
Could you imagine Edward Norton in like Endgame?
Uh,
Yeah, you think that guy feel bad? Like now you gave up on all that? I mean, I'd be like,
he's the type of person where he thinks he's too good to be right.
yeah. Well, that's
to,
why
like,
he
a
said.
project
I
like
read
that
it today about why
for
he
like
left.
15 years.
He didn't want to be. He didn't want to be.
The mad green man for.
He didn't want to be identified as solely being one person. He wanted to be like Captain America's
come out with
reckon.
a lot of blockbusters since then. I can't think of any.
So sad.
So I watched Iron Man 1, watched Iron Man 2. I actually enjoyed
The
both of
legend.
them. I wasn't able to watch Thor, but I've been told by some knowledgeable people that it's not worth really watching. And
I fell asleep in the theaters during it.
It's
That's
just
the
not-
loudest it's going to be. And I was like, hey. Hey.
so I unfortunately I skipped that one. So I just ended up actually what was really good. It was Captain America, the first one. I did not think it would be. I'm like, I'm about to get through this.
That's why he
It
got
was
plugged
actually
into so much
very
stuff.
very good. I actually enjoyed it. So I just watched that, and of course I watched the first Avengers, which I've already seen, but I watched it anyway. So now I'm on to Iron Man 3 tonight. I think. I actually kind of like. I think that's the next one on the list.
I can't remember if the Iron Man 2 and 3 were good.
2 was
honestly.
bad.
I gotta look it up.
2
now.
was real bad. Oh, it was. Ugh.
Wait, who was really bad?
Iron Man 2 was bad.
You didn't like it?
No. Well, as an action film, it was fine.
See, I didn't think it had a lot of action. I thought I was like, boy, this is really. If you really watch this in theaters, there's really not much going on. It was kind of very.
I think they had some pretty cool suits in that one, though. I mean, it's everyone, but.
Dan watched none of the movies. Just Fat Boy with the Chain.
I think I watched plenty of them.
So,
Up until recently.
Danny,
you've only
what are
seen
you
the
doing?
Avengers.
Oh,
You're watching the end of a NASCAR race, falling asleep on the couch, waking up and going, wow, that was a great Marvel movie.
Would you call yourself a Marvel fanatic? A master? Would you?
I'm
For
a
long
fan
time, I
of.
wasn't
Yeah. Where
watching
are
them.
you on the scale of as a Marvel fan, or
Comics.
knowledgeable throughout the?
Comics, not the movies.
Okay, let's say in the movies. Where do you fall?
I've seen a ton of them, so I mean, pretty knowledgeable, I guess.
I was gonna say, I've seen a lot of them, not all of them.
Can you put the movies in order?
Almost, I think.
Who wants to go first? We'll see if you get any of them right. Let's have Dave go first.
Iron Man.
Okay, so Dave's going first.
Or are we going by, like...
In order.
When
All the way
they
through
came
phase
out,
1,
or-
phase 2, and phase
No,
3.
I can't do that.
So Iron Man,
Okay.
Edward Norton Hulk. I don't know where to put that one.
Well, I just said it a minute ago where it fell.
Well, it's probably early.
Iron Man 2. I'm going to say the Hulk then. Then they started teasing the Avengers Initiative. So there was Avengers, then Captain.
The Captain was first.
You're up to 4 wrong.
Oh, come on! All right, well, at that point, I'm out. Like,
Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed much differently. I would have probably claimed all 4 of them. Right
Fat
in
Boy at the
there.
Chain wants me to know, ask Dan what the professor does in training to test Cap's courage.
What?
What does the professor do to test Cap's courage?
He throws a grenade and he jumps on it.
He's correct, but he just watched that last night. He literally just watched it last night.
All right, Mike, put them in order. Let's go.
I'm
Start with number
If
1.
Dave couldn't do it, I can't do it.
I want to see how far you get. I want to see how many you get
I
wrong.
literally would have said the same exact thing
What?
as him. I would have said Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and then maybe Avengers. That's like
Okay, first off, think about who's in the Avengers. They got to have a movie
Before.
for all of them before.
That's what
So
I
let's
said.
start
That's what I
over.
said. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor,
You didn't say Thor a second ago. Now you're saying
Hulk,
it.
Oh.
Avengers.
But you got them in the miscollab. Okay, we'll go through phase 1. Okay, phase 1 is Iron Man. Okay, the Hulk is the second one. Iron Man 2, the second Iron Man. Thor, Captain America, the Avengers. There's 6 movies in phase 1.
As he reads from Wikipedia.
Exactly. I'm looking at it in order.
I know what he's at. He's got all the tools.
So, are we gonna try to start phase 2? Do you think
We
you
should have
guys?
had you try to name them without Wikipedia.
Are we gonna try phase 2?
Damn, we can't even do phase 1.
You know what? Then you know what? Give me the movies in phase 2, and I'll try to put them in order.
Oh, well, that's
Okay.
fair. Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, and
And
Ant-Man.
you just read him in order.
What?
You just read him in order.
They didn't know that if you didn't say anything.
I kind of knew that.
Well, that's over.
Well, there's phase 2 in order.
Whatever, Tom. Classic Tom.
This is the best episode.
Did you like my little? Yeah, he jumped on the grenade.
I think you watched it on YouTube. I'm still not.
I watched that one
yet.
clip on
You
YouTube.
have not watched all those movies. There's no way.
I'm watching them now.
I know. All the ones that you said that you have watched so far, I guarantee you.
I've watched Iron Man 1. I've watched Iron Man 2. I skipped over Thor because I don't have it. I didn't watch the Hulk. I didn't get that either. And now I'm on to... I just watched the Captain America, and I watched the first Avengers. I'm done with phase 1.
What Infinity Stone did they find in Captain America?
What?
What Infinity Stone is introduced?
And which one?
Captain America.
It's not. It's the Trezarch thing.
Definitely, you were like way wrong on that. It's the Tesseract.
Whatever. It's close.
It is an Infinity Stone. It's just inside of it.
Okay, but it's not really shown yet.
Perhaps you did watch it.
I watched it. I was watching it last night.
But did he get anything out of it when he watched it? It's like trying to soak up water with a wet sponge.
What?
You know what? You know what movie franchise we all need to make sure we get back on board for? John Wick.
Oh, God.
There's so little plot you have to pay attention to, and such good action scenes.
It is true.
We did all watch.
When's the next one come out for those?
I don't know.
They have another Matrix coming out.
I've been.
Is this CS:GO?
Ew, Tim the Tatman is playing Overwatch on, and now
Is that what this
he's
is?
boldly betrayed me and put on some dude playing
He is pretty
CS:GO. Gross, disgusting.
Put the doctor
Any
in.
quick things we gotta go over? We're almost up here. A lot of wet trade-ins this week. A lot of PlayStation 1,
Hell yeah.
which have now also been sold too.
Yeah, it's a $50,000 turn.
Call of Duty Battle Royale comes out tomorrow. Are we trying that?
Nowhere.
It's free for all.
I'll play
as
it
well.
with Mike.
Yeah, the Dream Team is probably gonna have to test it first, and then maybe.
Dan,
we'll think
I'll
about
play it
opening
with
So
you.
if you haven't done an update yet, it's not only 80 from all the updates the last couple of weeks. It's probably gonna be another. It's gonna be 100.
Well, they said you don't even need the game to do it, so is that really?
You still gotta download it.
So it's gonna be its own separate thing. You heard so. Yeah.
I hurt Vladdy's ears by saying CS:GO is gross.
I thought it was Tom that said it, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's actually Dan.
Yuck,
It's a
Vladdy.
legendary
Yuck.
game. It's a legendary
Either way,
game,
I'm
but
intrigued to
yuck.
try the new Warzone method, the concept,
I'll definitely try it.
and how the guns work and all that. I mean, it's basically just Call of Duty.
We'll have a
Just-
lot of information to give.
It'd be
when we
quite
do it up
intriguing.
next week.
That's-
I probably will just be playing it throughout the week.
I know
yeah.
you guys usually also talk about a customer this week, and I had one yesterday that I really gotta. So they come in and they got that butt sniffing look on their face as they look around at everything. And they're picking up stuff between two fingers and walking around, and then they say to me, they're like, "Do you have any Nintendo Switches?" And I was like, "Actually, we do. We have a Switch Mini right here, 179. Is it used?" And so I take it out. It came in the box in the plastic. And I said it's used in so much as someone bought it and then decided, I don't want this. And they went, ugh, I'll just look on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, my
and they left. And I literally am stood there going with the whole the whole trade-in fiasco and then this person. And I thought to myself, stupid. Just dumb. Dumb.
It's just classic. You have a brand new Switch in here. It's basically brand new, and people are like, well, it's a hell of a deal. Why wouldn't it? Basically $20 off a brand new
We're being
Switch.
nice and we're saying it's used, but it's not. It's not. Like,
someone just was like, yeah, this is not what I want.
They literally bought it, opened it, don't want this, put it back in the box. They didn't even put a profile on it.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Who made Captain America's shield?
If you don't know that, I'm gonna just
Say it again.
get off this.
Who made Captain America's shield?
Howard Stark.
Actually,
And he went in. By the way,
Yeah,
let me
just say
by the way,
spotlight.
let me give you the scene. No, let me give you the scene. He
Bravo.
walked up there all in place, and the one he saw was down
I'm
below.
still suspicious that you just watched YouTube videos of the top clips of the movie. So very suspicious.
I was actually quite surprised though when the movie came up. It actually brought a lot of because I'm one of those ones where I started watching the Avengers at the end, and it actually brought me into perspective of how much Steve Rogers actually knew
Don't try to give credit and stuff, Dan. I'm not even sure.
Howard Stark. Because really, they know how they kind of reference it in the new, when were they together? But I didn't realize he really actually knew Howard Stark that well. But
That's why the betrayal was so fucking deep in Civil War.
who built
So
Ultron?
fucking deep.
Do you know? Who built Ultron?
the Hulk and Tony Stark.
Do you know who built it in the comics?
No, who knows that?
Actually, yeah, I used to remember. I can't now.
Wait,
That's a
he's
good-
not in the movies yet, is he?
He is.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Well, he is, but unfortunately, Marvel movie magicked him out.
Well,
It
is
was.
he in the movie or is he not in the movie?
He
Is
is.
he in Guardians of the Galaxy?
No,
All right, I'm thinking of someone else.
Who does Ultron kill first?
No,
I didn't see Age of
Wasn't
Ultron.
even done with the first question, Dan.
Whoa!
You've never seen it?
No, I didn't
Then
see
how
Age
did
of
you, how
Ultron.
could you ask me the question and you knew the answer?
Because I was I didn't see the movie
Disappointed.
because I was extremely mad that they
built
ruined. It was the original Ant-Man. Hank Pym.
Yeah,
Hank Pym as a way of trying to impress the Avengers because he had a lot of personal strife. And so he's like, I'm going to create the ultimate bad guy to protect the Avengers, to prove that I can be one of the Avengers. And then he winds up killing a lot of folks. And he's like, ah!
I was thinking of Adam Warlock.
You've
I
never
don't know
seen
why
Age of
I-
Ultron?
Oh, that's going to be such a good
I
movie!
don't know why I thought
You've never seen Age of Ultron?
I did.
You've never seen it?
No, well, he was saying who built him in the comics.
Oh, but I was
It's
about to
different
say
in the
who he
movies.
killed first, and everyone's like, "Oh, stop!" Like, you guys are watching all the new Marvel ones, and you haven't.
Like 70%
Didn't he kill let's see, the movies. Who stayed and who went? Did he kill Maria Hill?
No.
He killed
Okay.
Quicksilver. That's it.
And what a shame.
Probably did-
Oh, that's right, Quicksilver was in the
Probably
MCU.
did that because he was in the X-Men universe.
And they didn't want those folks with X-Men getting any of that Marvel
You're
De
wrong on
Niro.
that.
But,
He killed him, but that's not the first person he killed.
no, I don't know all of them.
Who did he kill
I
first?
know that he killed Quicksilver.
Enlighten
Do you
us.
want me to say it?
Yeah.
He electronically killed Jarvis.
Whatever. That's a
whatever.
trick.
It's the truth. They make a big thing about it. Whatever.
Poor
He just
Jarvis.
becomes Vision immediately anyway. So what
But that's how he becomes Vision. They killed Jarvis.
Grow up, Dan.
That's sad.
If you want to know the
Grow
history
up.
of where Vision comes
Doesn't he
from,
kill Agent Coulson?
Tell him, Dave.
Who?
Grow
But
up.
by the way,
First Avengers, never mind.
speaking of never growing up, Dan, can we get our own store, Jarvis? Like, can we get one? Because
His name will be Dan.
I can't help but notice.
how is that possible? Can we get an Alexa and call that Jarvis?
Can we get an Alexa and attach like one of those independent robots to it so that we can go, Jarvis, get me soda.
But I'm not sure how the Alexa works. But can you call the Alexa Jarvis? Like, can you name it?
That's a pretty in-depth Alexa question.
Well, Tom, you know the
I
Alexa.
don't know. I feel like this is a long form question of can there be a robotic Dan? In this?
Dan did not say no to the fact that I want to get
A robotic Dan? I just have a device right here that goes, Dave, don't do that. Mike, get back to work, damn it. What's going
I
on?
would definitely mute the shit out of that robot.
You wouldn't have access to mute it. There wouldn't be a button for you to mute
I
it.
come in from my shift after Mike's shift. Where's Dan? Dan didn't come in today. No. Where's Dan?
He's actually-
Mike.
And I'll be at home with my iPad going, up, Mike, what's going on there?
Mike opens a drawer and here he is. Dan, Mike, you take me out of that damn drawer this instant. I detected the light is in the store is going down.
Robotic Dan.
Maybe he'd get the discs right.
Until it achieves consciousness and takes over the store itself.
No, I'm Dan. No, I'm the real Dan. And it comes in and it starts hacking all the TVs and the lights and it's going crazy.
I could quintessential picture Mike and I having a pistol, and then we have Dan on a TV and actual Dan. Which one do we shoot? Dan on the TV's like, I will give you infinite 500s, and Dave, you can play as much Overwatch as you want. Other Dan, what do you come back with? You point that gun at me!
Could you imagine? Can you see Dave walking in, like unlocking the gate and walking in with caution as he looks around, like, uh-oh, what's gonna go on today?
I mean,
life in
it would
danger?
only be fair from the amount of times where I've had a snow day, so I'm sitting in the store, and Dan comes in, unbeknownst that I am in the store, and I turn the chair, well, because I've seen the...
Dave does sneak in occasionally from time to time before me.
I have enjoyed greatly sneaking up on pretty much everyone, except for Justine. Justine is the one that scares the ever-loving shit out of me every time.
Justine visited the Sunday service on Sunday.
It was excellent. Justine and I discussed Gundams. Dan started to bleed from the ears.
Ran out.
It was too much Gundam talk. But, alright, we gotta finish up because we got Mike Willa playing Castlevania.
Can you do that again?
Huh?
Can you do that again?
No.
Please.
No!
Please.
We need to clip that because that was something that needs to go along with the Waluigi.
I went, no! I don't know what was...
He pretty much did his own version of Wah!
Waluigi.
But we got Retro Monday coming up next. Playing a little castle, maybe finishing it, or you still got a long way to go?
I was gonna say, I don't know that. Like Mike's good.
I say it every time.
Mike was talking some serious smack talk last week. Like he's unstoppable at Castlevania.
This one's easy.
I mean, did you watch him play?
Well, yeah.
He was pretty much unstoppable.
This one's easy, but it is the best.
One could say Metal Gear took his cheeks. So,
Somewhat.
As
The hard
Metal
ones,
Gear
the hard
should.
parts. For the most part, I was dominant.
Oh, and then the only other part you got hung up on was the Jeep. Because Meryl's driving, and Meryl's literally like, Snake, what are you doing? Like, look at the road, Meryl!
hey, DJ, don't make excuses for Mike.
It's my favorite program on Insane Games TV, aside from the Dream Team.
Well, that program's coming up next. And
Retro
of course,
Monday.
AC Weezy is going to be finishing out tonight with
Hell
Monday
yeah.
Night Gaming, and I think we're live. Speaking of that, we were streaming yesterday, right? Dave was sitting here and he's streaming, and someone followed, and you heard and Dave goes,
Like,
Dave is like, you're looking.
I got so confused. I was like, no one ever of the other team visits during my streams. What the hell?
Dave kind of like looks back. He's looking. I go, oh yeah. I go, Tom, put in some silence. What does Mike say moist to?
Oh, someone's got a tip.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what it was for, but I explained to Dave what the
Now,
sound
did
effects
you
were.
like Frank Reynolds? It were you like moist.
How's it? Like,
Does he scream?
Moist.
Screams.
That was boys.
With the little jingle. Ding-ding-ding.
But it's funny. It was a quiet. Ha ha ha. And Dave's kind of looking around like.
I was like, what the hell?
I'll have to find the clip of that. That's.
But it's funny. But okay, so that's Behind the Counter this week. Retro Monday up next. Make sure you follow. Check out all of our shows this week. We got a full schedule. And that's it. You want to hit us off, Mike? See you next week here. Thanks for Dave for coming on anytime. Behind the Counter is out.
Bye, Vladdy. Thank you.